Hi, this is Sivaranjani, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Bharath Institute of Higher Education and Research. In this video lecture, I'll be covering about the cloud reference model from in the unit 2 from the subject U18Pccs401 Cloud Computing. So, in this lecture, we'll be talking about the cloud reference model referenced by NIST. So, NIST is nothing but National Institute of Standards and Technology. So this is a company which set the standards for all the architectures that cloud provider should maintain or satisfy. Okay, so all the cloud architecture which comes under NIST standard uh, or should be NIST define the cloud computing as a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. It means that ubiquity in the sense it should be available anywhere, and about anything. Okay, and also convenient to use. So user should not feel any difficulties in using this cloud reference model, cloud architecture, and it should be on-demand network access. So whenever the user demand for the any resources, the cloud provider should give them. So this as the definition given by the NIST architect institute, and it should be a configurable computing resources, and it is also the cloud providers also gives the resources which can be used for computations, and examples of this is the network, server, storage, applications, and services. All these are resources that can be availed by the users from the cloud providers. So objectives of NIST is it should be widely accepted. So since all the cloud providers should follow the standard of NIST, in this NIST is accepted by widely accepted by all the cloud providers, and it provides a clear understanding of cloud computing technologies and the services that cloud providers are given to the users as well as the companies, industries. And cloud computing model primarily focus on more economic method. So more economic method in the sense that it should provide the high quality services, like the storage should be very fast, and network if a user gets a networks as a service, then it should have a high speed. So all the services should be available in a faster service, and it should also have a lower cost. So that means that it should be the cloud NIST focuses on giving the more economic method to the users. So the cloud reference architecture. So basically, we have three service models where, as far as the cloud architecture is concerned, we have software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So platform software as a service is the very widely or most common example of software as a service is like Google Docs, the Excel, so Microsoft applications which we used in our Gmail. All that comes under software as a service. Means that we are not bothered about where the software has been installed, whether what configuration, what is the in which OS this software, this Microsoft is running on, Microsoft Word is running on, and what is the underlying platform, whether it runs on Ubuntu platform or Windows platform. We are not bothered about it. We just open our Gmail, we just type the document, and we just send it. So this is software as a service. This is used by any layman that wants to create any document, and that will be available anywhere you go. As you go, you can access it. That's why it's called a software as a service. So software as a service is being used by most of the users now. And platform as a service is uh, in this software as a service, we are just getting either only one software, either it is a Microsoft Office, or we are getting some and any camera device, camera applications, or photo applications. So any one application you can uh, get as a service with the software as a service. Whereas in the platform as a service, you get the OS or you get the necessary services so that you create your own software. So if you get the OS as a software, the platform, so here the OS means that, so platform means that OS, the operating system. So if you get the operating system, you can create any applications you want, and it can be user defined or most commonly used applications, or which is being created by the other service providers or other companies. Okay, or you can even create your own software by when you get a platform as a service. And the next one is infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service is you get the entire system itself, including the hardware, the storages, including the hardware, storages, the networking devices, everything, all that should be you're taking it as a service. So the difference between the platform as a service and the infrastructure as a service is here you're getting only the OS. In the platform, you're getting only the OS. You're not bothered about what is the underlying configuration is. What is the size of the storage? What is the size of the RAM? And what processor it is running on. So now you don't have any information or no, now you have any idea of what the underlying hardware is being used in the platform as a service. Whereas in the infrastructure as a service, it means that you take the underlying hardware also underlying hardware which is used to create a system. Okay, so it means that in the infrastructure as a service you're getting the entire system for create using for using for your company or for your individual use. Okay. So these are the main three service models that is being given to the sources by the cloud providers. So software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. And we have other types of clouds also, whereas private cloud, community cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. So private cloud is used by either only one individual or one company. Within that, it is accessible within that organization. Only one group of people can be used within the organization. And public cloud is anyone can use it and anyone can upload the data, anyone can use the data and which is being uploaded by some other people. So anything can happen with the public cloud. So since it is public, anyone can access, anyone can use anyone's data. Okay, and the community cloud is it is used created for only a particular community. So particular community, it can be only for employers. They can use the softwares or hardwares which is present inside that cloud. Only a particular employees, IT employees can use only, or the finance employers can use. So it is used created for a community of people. And the hybrid cloud is it can be a combination of anything. So you have most probably most widely used as public cloud versus private cloud. So in the public cloud, the data or the applications which is used by all and which needs a less secure will be given to the public part, and the security informations will be given in the private cloud. So that's how the hybrid clouds are being constructed. And this is cloud reference model. So in the cloud reference model, we have four actors. One is cloud consumer, cloud provider. We have a cloud provider who provides all the services to user or any company. So we have cloud providers, cloud consumers. So consumers are nothing but the users or any company which is going to get the service from the cloud providers, and cloud auditors. So cloud auditors are the one who audits all the informations or who checks what are the servers has been given to the cloud consumers and everything. So they are going to check all the informations. And cloud broker. So cloud broker is the one who acts as an intermediate between the cloud service provider and the cloud consumer. Okay, so the consumer can contact the cloud broker, and in turn the cloud broker will get a service from the cloud provider. Okay, and there is not it is not that the consumer always should go to the broker for getting the service. The consumer can alone can go for the cloud accessing cloud services. Okay, so and cloud carrier is we all the services are given to the user using the cloud carrier. So it's nothing but the networking things. Okay, so these are the four main actors we are going to discuss about this reference model. And then the cloud provider, as we saw earlier, the three services can be taken from the cloud provider, that is SaaS, PaaS, and as so. And resource abstraction and control layer is that. So resource abstraction, we said that if you are getting SaaS, the cloud, the software as a service, then it means that we are not bothered about the what is the OS it is installed on, and what is the underlying hardware it is being installed. So we are using on. So thus abstraction is hiding. So we are going to hide. The cloud provider will hide all this information for the users who is going to use only one application from the cloud. And this is the physical resource layer. So this is physical resource layer. We are going to have the hardware. So infrastructure as a service. So the person who takes infrastructure as a service will be using all this physical layer resources resources and cloud service management. Whenever the cloud providers give some information, gives the services to any user, they will be giving some services also, which is nothing but they will come for business support, provisioning the configuration if there is any configuration that to be done when you're getting the hardware from the cloud, the configuration access all they'll be giving, and portability and interoperability. So it means that whatever hardware you use or whatever hardware or software that is being used in the local system can be merged or can also be used with the services which you get from cloud provider. Additional to this, they also provide the security and privacy. Okay. And so five major actors: the cloud consumer, provider, cloud carrier, cloud auditor, and cloud broker. So each actor is an entity. The entity can be, as I said, entity can be either a person or an organization that participates in a transaction and perform tasks in cloud computing. Task and cloud computing. Okay. So cloud consumer may request cloud services from a cloud provider directly or a via broker. Okay. So the each entity that cloud consumer can directly approach the cloud provider for getting some access resources, or they can contact the broker for getting the resources on behalf of them. Cloud auditor conducts independent audits and may contact the others to collect necessary information. So the cloud auditor is the one who have a constant touch with the consumer, and they get necessary information for auditing the resources. So auditing involves what are the servers that is being given to the particular consumer, and if there is anything to be upgraded or anything to be removed from the cloud service consumer, and what is the bill they are going to pay, and what are the discounts, or what is the uh, plan, what is the suitable plan that the consumer can go for. All these things the cloud auditor is going to audit, and they'll give some suggestions to the cloud consumer about the audit, and also they will choose the appropriate plan for them. So cloud reference model: the cloud consumer, the user service, the cloud computers are the one who uses the services from the cloud providers, and cloud providers, they are making a service which is going to be given to the cloud consumer. And cloud auditor conducts the independent assessment. Cloud broker, broker, when the service is given, when the consumer comes to the cloud broker for any services, this cloud broker is responsible for that particular person, and he uses the manages the use and performance and delivery of cloud services to for that particular consumer. And cloud carrier, intermediate that provides connectivity. So this involves the network persons who takes the services from the cloud providers and passes this information or passes these services to the consumer. Okay, so this cloud carriers are nothing but the networking companies like Airtel, Vodafone, cloud reference architecture. This cloud reference architecture interaction between the this diagram actually shows about the interactions between the actors and the cloud computing. So here the cloud we have a cloud consumer and we have a cloud provider. The cloud consumer can directly go to the cloud provider for taking the service, or they can go to cloud broker. And cloud broker who gives the services to the consumer, they should also go for auditing the services which is given to the user by them. Okay, so cloud provider goes to the cloud auditor for auditing the service that is given to the user, and this cloud auditor who audits all the information should pass this all the information to the cloud provider, so that the cloud provider knows what's happening between the consumer and broker. And we have a carrier here. Okay, so this is scenario one, where the consumer contacts the cloud broker to get the services from the cloud provider 1 and cloud provider 2. So the cloud consumer may request cloud services from the cloud broker instead of contacting the provider directly. And cloud broker may create a new service by combining multiple services or by enhancing an existing service. So as I said, we have different plans that can be given to the consumers, and that plans have already been created by the cloud providers. Okay? So different plans in the sense of each plan contains what are the resources available and how these resources will be carried to the consumer's place, and what is the security level, privacy level, all this will be defined in each and every plan. Okay? So whenever the consumer contacts the the cloud broker may give the plan exactly to the cloud consumer, or he can merge one or two most advantageous or beneficial plans, so that the consumer benefits to the max. And then the cloud provides are invaluable to the cloud consumers. So whatever way you go, either since you are going through the cloud broker, the cloud providers, you don't even know who is the cloud provider. Actually, you're just getting the whatever necessary things you want, you will be using it everything, and there is but you'll not be aware about who is the one provides the services for you. And whenever the clouds there is a service that is being got from the cloud provider by the cloud consumer, they will come for a service level agreement. So this SLA means that service level agreement. So this service level agreement will have the informations about what are the resources they have taken, details about what are the resources that being given to the cloud consumer, and what are the configurations of each of this services, what hardware, what software, and how much resources, how much storage, and what is the size of the RAM, what is the speed, and how this is being carried out. All those information will be there in the service level agreement, and each of the parties should sign in the service level agreement for the better understanding. Okay, so here we have a service level agreement one from the between the cloud consumer and the cloud provider. But if you want to give this information or give the service to the consumer by the cloud provider, we already said that that is only through the cloud carrier. Okay, without the networks, without net connection, you cannot able to access any of the cloud that is available. So means that the cloud provider also should have an agreement between the cloud carrier, so that there is no difficulty in sending the services to the cloud consumer. So when as far as the cloud provider is concerned, he will be maintaining two levels of agreements, service level agreements. One is SLA1, that is between cloud consumer and cloud provider, and between cloud provider and cloud carrier, it will have another service level agreement. So this service level agreement 2 will contain the details about what is the mode of communication, like whether it is a fiber optics or normal telephone line, whether it's a wireless or whatever. It is depends on the particular user, how the particular user is demanding on. So what is the speed of that network network they have given, and how long it will be available, and what is the time they can use it, and how much they have to pay. Everything will be there in the service level agreement too. And this is the scenario 2. Example of scenario 2. So the cloud providers carriers provide connectivity and transport of cloud services from the cloud provider to cloud consumers. And as I said, there will be two service level agreements, SLA1 and SLA2 will be maintained by the cloud provider, and each of the service level agreements, it requirements on capability, it specifies requirements of capability, flexibility, and functionality. Everything will be that is essential for the requirements in SLA1. This is scenario 3. So scenario 3 is the cloud consumer directly contacts the cloud provider, and all the services are being audited by the cloud auditor. So cloud auditor conducts the independent assessment of the operation and security of the cloud service implementation. So here for cloud service, if a cloud the service of the cloud should be improved, then we need to know that how much you have used and how much we are getting benefited by the cloud providers. Okay, so based on that only, we a consumer is going to upgrade the information, or they are going to withdraw the service level agreement from the cloud provider. So based that information will be given by the cloud auditor. Okay, so cloud auditor, whenever the cloud auditor assesses or audits some information between the consumer and provider, he needs to get information from both the consumer and the provider, so that it makes the auditor will make use of all the information that is being used by the consumer and provider. So the auditor will give some suggestions for the cloud consumer. So the cloud consumer, provider, auditor, broker, and carrier. So cloud consumer, cloud consumers are the principal stakeholder for the cloud service, cloud computing service, and it can be a person or organization, and that uses the service from the cloud provider. And cloud consumers will browse the service, means that the cloud provider will have a list of services that can be available, that is available, and a user can use it. Okay, so when this list of services is given to the consumer first browses the service, requests the appropriate service, and steps up the service contact. So first it goes through what are the services that are available, and that is given by the cloud provider. And after knowing what are the requests or resources are available, the cloud consumer requests for the particular services which is needed by the consumer, and then based on that request, the service level agreement will be created. And then if the service level agreement is signed between the provider and the consumer, then the service consumer can start using their service. So we have three types of consumers. One is SaaS consumer, PaaS consumer, and IaaS consumer. So SaaS consumer are the one who uses only the just one software from the cloud, and the PaaS consumers are the one who's using all the softwares which is used for testing and deployment, or creating the data, creating the application itself. Whereas in this IaaS consumers, they are going to get the entire platform itself, which involves the computing resources also. So examples of SaaS consumers are the one who gets applications like financial, sales software, billing software, human resource software, social networking softwares, all those things. So social network applications like FB. So FB, in a sense, we are just downloading the FB software, FB app in our mobile. Okay, so we don't even know how this software has been created, or who is managing that, what happens in the software. We just start using and enjoying the FB. Okay, so that's called as social networking. So we are all SaaS consumers. And then PaaS consumers, so they make use of the database deployment. So basically, the things that is needed for creating the applications for testing their business intelligence and application deployment. And SaaS consumers are the one who takes off computing resources, platform hosting, storage, CDN, backup, and recovery. So all this means that we are going to take some data and we are going to use the computations out of it. And cloud provider, so cloud provider, it can also be either person or organization. Okay, so if we say private cloud, it means that an organization is using the creating the software. An entity responsible for making a service available to interested parties. And or the providers are the one who makes the service available to the interested parties. Interested parties are the one who request for the services. And cloud provider acquires and manages the computing infrastructure required for providing the services, runs the cloud software that provides a service, and makes agreement to deliver the cloud services to the cloud consumers through the network access. So the cloud provider will give the functionality to the consumers of service deployment, service orchestration, cloud services, security, and privacy. So these are the services that the cloud provider can give to the cloud consumers, apart from giving the SaaS, PaaS, and as services. And cloud auditor, as already discussed, they perform an independent examination of cloud service controls with the intent to express an opinion thereon. Audits are performed to verify the conformance to standards through higher review of objective evidence. Okay, it means that if we want to review the services that we got from the service provider, and we want to update something, or we can withdraw some data from it, that all happens with the review which which is created by the cloud auditor. And cloud auditor can evaluate the service provided by the cloud provider in terms of security control, privacy impact, and impact performance. So this audit can also be improved, can also be used for increasing the uh, security level, and we also can privacy level, the performance, everything can improve. And the cloud broker, the cloud consumer may request cloud services from a cloud broker instead of contacting cloud provider directly. Cloud broker is an entity that manages the use, performance, and delivery of cloud services and negotiates relationships between cloud providers and cloud consumers. And cloud brokers, there are three categories of cloud brokers: service intermediation, service aggregation, and service arbitrage. So service intermediation are the one who enhances given service by improving some specific capability and provides value added services to the cloud consumers. Okay, so it means that they've already the service the cloud broker has given some services to the consumer by getting the service from the cloud provider, and after that they can also provide some value added services to cloud consumers. And aggregation is, as I said, there will be multiple plans on the cloud, so the cloud broker can combine those multiple plans and create one plan that is more suitable for the cloud consumers. They can take the advantage of two or more plans. This can also a cloud broker can do. And arbitrage just means that a broker has a flexibility to choose services multiple agencies. Not only that, they have a different plans from a particular cloud or cloud provider. They also have a flexibility to choose from different cloud providers. Many cloud providers will be there, sir. So means that I'll take the advantage of one cloud provider. Such if one cloud provider is very good in giving the SaaS as well, SaaS software as a service, and another cloud provider is very good in giving the platform as a service with a very low cost, then I can approach two cloud providers and take the advantage. So which in turn I'll get a very low cost. And cloud carrier acts as an intermediary. So basically carrier is networking thing. So connectivity and transport of cloud services between cloud consumers and cloud providers. Provide access to consumers through network, telecommunication, and other access device.